Hi my friend, it's Pat Sloan here. We are on Secret Lives of Color number 41 and I have some other great things to show you today. So 41, we're in the purple section of the book. And so 41 is mauve. Now I think all of us can find mauve. I think it's a color that we immediately sort of know in our head. It's that very dusty, sort of Victorian, romantic, old-fashioned maybe purple. So here is my mauve, which I think really nails it. I think this is mauve exactly. The fact that I had a piece of fabric in mauve, I was like, whoa. So this color started out by like a 19-year-old chemist who was trying to actually create quinine so that they could, you know, so malaria wouldn't be a problem anymore. And in doing that, he ended up with this mixture that was purple. And because he always thought he'd like to be an artist, I guess he dipped some cloth in it, and it turns out it dyed the cloth. Well, it was very expensive, of course, because all that stuff was back then, which they're using, you know, they're taking other materials. So anyways, it ended up that Napoleon III's wife thought this purple, I think, exactly matched her eyes. And so the influencers of the day, the fashion icons of the day, were the royalty. And so purple took off, and Queen Victoria used the mauve, and this shade of mauve became the thing to wear and have. Then it fell out of favor, you know, as colors do. It ebbed and flowed. And so that's, it did eventually become sort of a old lady color. Then there's poems about that. So anyways, our old lady color for today is my mauve block, which I think is stinking cute. I'm really happy with that one. I used a little more playful pink in here. Now I am on our layout. I am on this section. And so I did the 6-inch block this week, which, where's that go? Immediately lay it down and forget. So I have the pink up at the top there. So that is where it goes. We will be doing a couple more in the purple section and then one from the blue section to sort of balance out so that next month we don't have so many to do. That is how we'll roll this time. Okay, I also found an amazing backing. I was looking at some things. There's a fabric line that's been out a long time. It's called Color Theory by Carrie Bloomston. And she does a lot of things that look like torn paper and collage-y stuff. And so there's a few pieces in this line that work. And I just fell in love with it. Oh my goodness, look at this. Look at this. It looks like what we're doing. We're taking, whoops, let me get that there. So we're taking swatches and colors, and it came on a white and a dark. You'd have to go on Etsy to find the white background of this one. I leave a link below for you to the navy one. Then there's one that just has the swatches, sort of just this part, which is really cool, and that's on a white background. So anyways, here is my backing, which I got probably more than I need, so that I just have it because it's one of those super cool fabrics that I think, you know, it can just be popped in here and there over time. Whatever's left of it, I'll keep. So I don't normally see a backing and think that has to go with the quilt. It's just not how I normally think. But I had to this time. When I saw that, I was like, so I told the ambassadors, I was like, what do you think? What do you think? And they're, of course, major enablers, and they all insisted I had to have it. So I did. All right, I'm working on, oh, no, wait. Elaine wrote me and said, today is, we'll call everything international. It's International Fudge Candy Day. So if you like fudge, put a note in the comment to tell me what flavor is your favorite. Mine is peanut butter fudge, and it has to be somewhat dry. I don't like the dense, sort of sticky, sort of heavy. Well, all fudge is heavy, but I like something that's a little bit drier. My husband's, Greg's aunt, his mom's sister, Aunt Belle, made the best, because she made so much of it. She had it down to a science. She made it all the time. So that is my favorite fudge, peanut butter. Okay, I was working on the charity quilt to get it finished up, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to show you what I'm doing. So let's go on the other side of the table and have a chat. I am putting on the sleeve. I'm hand stitching the sleeve for the charity quilt, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to turn the video on and show you a little bit what I'm doing with that and the needle threader and just maybe chit chat. So first of all, I am using the Clover needle threader, and I have used these needle threaders for, I don't know, forever, since I think they first invented them. I think that they are marvelous, and there's a couple things that people may not realize about using them that makes it a little bit more successful. First of all, if you've got too big of an eye needle, it won't go in the hole properly. But you can stick your sort of regular size needles that you use. So I've got just a regular hand needle. Put the eye down, and what happens is when I push this lever, there will be thread in there, but when I push this lever, it actually makes a little hook go into the eye and then grabs the thread and pulls it out the other side. So the hook goes in here, grabs, and pulls it out the other side. So that is what's happening. You can see the mechanism in there. See, when I put some thread. So here is the thread that I'm using. Oh, I've got a close up here. So I am just going to cut piece of the thread off. Whoops, I missed it. How did that happen? Okay, now when you're doing this, there's a slot right here. It says cutter right on here, and you will put the thread, just sort of lay it in there, and then what I do is I make sure that it's positioned towards the lever rather than it being straight or pulled back. I want to put it towards the lever because that seems to work best. Now when I push the needle lever down, when the needle threader lever down, don't like slam it and pop it back up, because this is a delicate little hook that's trying to go through the eye of that little tiny hole. So just be gentle. Push it down, and you see it sort of jerked, and then push it up. It should now have threaded it, and there it is. So what you have is, let me get it where it's there. So you see the thread loop is through the eye. So now I can just pull that loop and my needle is threaded. Now what happens is sometimes when people pull this out, they pull it out too quickly. I'm going to back up here a little bit. So they might pull it out too quickly and actually unthread that loop. And then they say, oh, it doesn't work. Well, you can't just pull the needle out really fast. You have to pull it out very slowly. So I'm going to do it again. Pull the thread over towards the lever, click the lever down and up, and then gently pull the needle out. And then grab the loop so that you have it threaded. And you only want to grab one side of it, pull through. There we go. So if I had pulled that out quickly, it would actually unthread. All right, so we have all that, and I've got some thread. And now what I'm doing is, you know, I needed to do the hanging sleeve and then the label on the charity quilt, and I have not finished the binding yet. I'm just going to stick my needle in the quilt there, but you can see the binding is here. I'm working on the back side. This is the sleeve that I'm stitching down all the way, you know, here. I just have, let's see. Oop. Let me give you a little bit more. No, we're all the way out. Okay, so there. So I have this much more sleeve to do all the way to the end, and then the label for handwork. After that, I will take this, roll it to the front, take the binding, roll it to the front, and then I will be stitching on the front with a blanket stitch to adhere the binding. So when I'm stitching lately, I've found, I don't know why, but I can sometimes put a tablet over here, and this is on the back side of my table. I do have a chair down here, but sometimes I just stand because I sit so dang much that I just stand here and I will stitch a little bit. So like if I have to find, where did I stop stitching? Oh. So when I start stitching, I usually go behind the label, the sleeve. So this is a hanging sleeve. So I'm sort of pulling it back and then going behind it so that my thread knot is underneath, way underneath there. It's not going to be out on this edge. And then I will do my first little stitch out here. And this is basically like the stitch that I would do for applique, but it's a lot, you know, I'm not trying to be quite as careful on the hanging sleeve. So it's enjoyable. Now, my friend Suzanne, who is one of our ambassadors, she sent me these to try, these sort of rubber thimbles, and I actually like it a lot. I am surprised. I wear my thimble on my middle finger of my right hand. I'm right-handed, and I push with that finger generally on the side. I push needles on the side, so I'm not pushing on the end. I'm actually pushing kind of on the side of my finger here. And that's how I do it. We all have lots of different ways, but I'm surprised that it doesn't poke through, because that's what I was expecting to have happen. So I will just go along and finish this guy up, and it will be then I'll be ready to do that binding and then send it off to the fat quarter shop so it can get ready for photography, because it will be going up for auction for Make-A-Wish. So I just wanted to share that a little bit with you, because it's kind of fun to see how other people handle things. Another thing that I do with the binding at times, you know, I don't always do this because I'm not always trying to make it so nice. Maybe I should, but you know, I don't. That's the reality of things. I sort of kind of rush along on the binding a lot. But I will, if I'm going to be nice, I will make my corner, my miter corner in advance, and prepare it so that while I'm doing the blanket stitching, I get it, it's all sort of nice and tidy, and it's less chance of it getting a little bit wonky. So this is the front of the quilt. This is the charity quilt again. This is the front. You can see there's one of the blocks, and I'll prep this. Now, some people will prep all of the binding. I mean, literally glue all the binding over, which really is quite accurate. It's more time consuming. I don't find it worth my time for most things. I have done it, but not usually. I have done binding by machine so much that for the most part, my accuracy comes in the corners. So if I'm pulling this over now, and I am going to come in close, we'll see how close how low can you go, right? The limbo. We're going to do the opposite. How close can you get? There we go. That's pretty close. Okay. I will take a little bit of glue, and this is Roxanne's water-soluble glue. I will put a little bit of that in there to help me just lock down. I'm going to lock down the binding, and I'm going to lock it down over here a little bit with some other glue. But what this allows me to do is to form that miter really nicely so that it looks really good. And then I can go in and put another little piece of glue, little dot of glue in there. I will take my Wonder clips and also help myself here by keeping it down. Now I'm going to use this miter now is set. So when I'm blanket stitching, I'm going to come right to this corner and then pivot and come down the other side. I do not stitch this by machine. I will come back and stitch this and the back side by hand. Whoops, there we go, the back side. There, see the back side pleat and the front side? I will stitch both of those by hand afterwards. So my machine stitching will come right to this corner and pivot, and that's how I prep it. So a little bit of Roxanne's glue and some Wonder clips. And where's the Wonder clip? There it is. You're good to go. I have the sleeve all done, and what I need to do is just the corners to where I mitered. So I thought I'd just show you that corner real quick so you can see what it looks like on the final piece. There we go. So here is my corner, and I will just come and slip stitch this, and then here is the back side, and I will just slip stitch in those corners and stitch down the label, and I will be ready to go. So I'm almost ready to send that off. Very happy to have that done. Get it out for Make-A-Wish. So let me do the mail call now. First, I have to share that this candy came, and it was not for me. Laura, our ambassador, and her husband sent Greg this and a book from a museum they went to that they thought he would like, that has some train stuff. And so here's a picture of Greg with his goodies. So I just had to show you that because he doesn't get his own gift that often. Okay, the other mail call is from Pennsylvania. Oh, I have to look up the name. Hold on. Sometimes I write it on the outside first. She sent a beautiful card, but she typed up the note. So wait. Ah, it's Phyllis. Phyllis from Pennsylvania. Okay, she sent me a bunch of things, a bunch of goodies. One is some linen cloth to try, which I have to do 2 over. So, you know, you have a lot of trust in me, Phyllis. I'm just doing regular 14 count. But you know what? I want to try new things. And so this will be fun. Maybe I'll do something small and give it a go. She also sent me some selvages. And from one of her, look at the cat. Look at the cat fabric. That is so cute. These were from some of her favorite fabrics. Look at that cat, the cats. Ah, so cute. And the piece de resistance. Red scissors. Red, not 1, not 2, but 3 pair of red scissors. There's some great paper scissors and 2 beautiful small red scissors. Look at these. Aren't they gorgeous? Thank you. Mwah. Thank you so much. This is an awesome gift. You just never know what comes in the mail. Okay, real quick, the Boo Crew is now ready for you. So the Boo Crew, the fabric came in, and the kits are made. They're online if you want to just buy a kit and you don't want to use your own fabric. I put the dates July 5, which is Tuesday. So it'll be every Tuesday in July will be the Boo Crew. So if you don't have any Halloween fabric and you wanted to get it ordered, do that now, and we will start every week with part of the Boo Crew. I'm excited for it. The Boo Crew is going to be really fun. Okay, you are making mauve today. Mauve. There you go. All right, I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.